Maya was a dreamer and would always dare to dream. This was clear to anyone who knew her. She carried a sketchbook everywhere, filling its pages with drawings of places she had never been, faces she had never seen, and worlds she had only imagined. She would dare to dream of being an artist, to travel the world and share her creations with others. But despite her immense talent, Maya remained bound by one powerful force: fear, and didn't know how to overcome fear. She constantly thought of the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside her carefully constructed comfort zone. Every year she made plans. She would map out goals, write lists of art competitions to enter, and cities she wanted to visit. As Maya would dare to dream of accomplishing these, yet every year the same pattern repeated itself. Not sure how to overcome fear, she would come up with reasons not to follow through. "I'm not ready," she'd tell herself. "I'll try next year when I have improved." And next year would come, but Maya's feet stayed planted firmly where they were. By the time she was in her late 20s, Maya found herself stuck in the same place she had been for years. Working a job she didn't care for, would dare to dream but too scared to chase them, and her life felt small, while her ambitions were vast and unreachable. That summer, seeking solace and a break from the city, she went to visit her grandmother, who lived in a quiet, picturesque village far from the hustle and bustle of urban life. The village was surrounded by rolling hills, and her grandmother's house sat on a small plot of land with a sprawling garden. At the center of the garden stood an ancient oak tree, its roots deep and its branches wide, shading the entire yard. Maya had fond memories of that oak tree from childhood. She used to sit beneath its branches for hours, drawing and reading, feeling a sense of peace that she struggled to find in the city. But now the tree looked different to her, grander, almost defiant, and standing very tall. It seemed to represent everything she wanted: strength, endurance, and the ability to weather life's storms. One evening after dinner, Maya sat outside with her grandmother and they got talking. Her grandmother, a wise woman with years of life experience, noticed the way Maya's gaze kept returning to the oak tree. "You've been looking at that tree all evening, dear," her grandmother said with a knowing smile. "What's on your mind?" Maya hesitated, unsure of how to put her feelings into words. "It's just, that tree has been there for as long as I can remember," she finally said. "It's been through so much, storms, harsh winters, droughts, and yet it's still standing. How does it do that? How does it stay so strong?" Her grandmother then took off her eyeglasses, smiled, and replied, "The oak tree wasn't always this strong, dear. It started as a small seed, much like you, unsure of what it would become. It faced challenges. Strong winds tried to bend it, heavy rains tried to drown it, but it stayed rooted and grew with every season. Change happens when we allow ourselves to face the storms and grow through them. You are like the oak tree, Maya. You just have to understand how to overcome fear and believe that you can stand tall too." She paused for a moment, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. The oak tree didn't avoid the storms, it faced them. It embraced the seasons, the hardships, and allowed itself to grow through them. You see, Maya, change doesn't come from staying in one place. It comes from facing the things we are afraid of, and in learning how to overcome fear. See yourself like that oak tree, my dear. Dare to dream and just let yourself grow. Maya sat quietly, absorbing her grandmother's words. Deep down she knew the truth in them. She would dare to dream but was bound by not knowing how to overcome fear. She had spent so long avoiding the storms in her own life. The rejections, the uncertainties, the discomfort of stepping into the unknown. She had convinced herself that staying where she was, safe and protected, would somehow allow her to grow. But now, sitting beneath the oak tree's towering branches, she realized that true growth only comes when we face the elements head-on. That night, as Maya lay in bed, she thought about her grandmother's words over and over again. She then said to herself, I will dare to dream and achieve my dreams. And in learning how to overcome fear, I will imagine myself as the small seed of an oak tree, full of potential and not afraid to take root. Then for the first time Maya wondered, what might happen if she succeeded? After a while she slept off. The next day as the sun rose, so did Maya's resolve. She made a decision. No more waiting, no more dare to dream and put them on hold. She would overcome fear one step at a time and allow herself to grow just like the oak tree. It wasn't easy at first. She started small, applying to a local art exhibit in the village. She was nervous, almost too nervous to submit her work. But she remembered the oak tree and with trembling hands she sent in her entry. Then to her surprise, one day she received a phone call that her entry was accepted and a date fixed for an exhibition. On the night of the exhibition she stood proudly next to her paintings, watching as people admired her art. That small victory ignited something in her. She realized that the more she stepped out of her comfort zone, the more she grew, not just as an artist but as a person. She then said to herself, I will dare to dream even bigger and achieve them. She returned back to the city and began to apply for art shows in the city, some of which rejected her while others praised her work. Each time she faced rejection, she reminded herself of the oak tree, bending with the wind but never breaking. As the months passed and having overcome fear, Maya's confidence grew. She booked her first solo exhibition and soon after she took the leap and booked a one-way ticket to Europe, fulfilling her long-held dream of traveling and creating art along the way. She visited galleries in Paris and created inspiring paintings of her own. With each new experience, Maya felt herself growing stronger, more grounded, more in tune with the person she had always wanted to be. Years later, Maya returned to her grandmother's village. She was no longer the timid, fearful woman who had visited that summer, but a confident artist who dared to dream and achieved them, whose work was known around the world. Her journey had been long and full of challenges, but each challenge had helped her grow deeper roots, just like the oak tree. As she walked through the garden, she stopped in front of the old oak tree and smiled. It was still standing, tall and strong, its branches reaching toward the sky. Maya sat down beneath its shade, grateful for the lesson it had taught her all those years ago. Thanks for watching. Kindly hit the like button, subscribe for more beautiful and inspiring stories, and drop a comment below on what you learned from this story.